it's getting tough nowadays to like the competition is definitely much higher than when I started, I think. I remember like there were like a few really good people
Mhm.
back in the days, like when I looked at the juniors, it was like there's a really small percentage of people who were like crushing it.
Yeah.
But now it's like it feels like there's a large pool of people who are, average
Mhm.
to good.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like
Yeah.
I'm sure there's still people who are crushing it, but I don't see like them as much because I think the pool has like expanded. So there's a lot
Yeah.
more like average people. So you never see like one person just excel compared to
Yeah.
the rest. Kind of like the medium is like flattened out a
Yeah.
little bit.
I think it's also like because when you look at reels, right, you can't tell. Like when I go on LinkedIn and I see reels of like some of the juniors, I'm like, whoa, Jesus, that's pretty good. But then I came to realize that a lot of this is guided. Like what you see in the reel is guided right by. It could be like the 50th iteration of a shot. So
Yeah,
it's not really them animating necessarily. It's like someone who's critiquing it, like a director who's critiquing it to the point where, okay, now it's passable. Now, or like now it's good. So, and
yeah,
these juniors will add them to that reel. And they did do it. Don't get me wrong, they get the credit. But that's also part of hand holding, right? And yeah, I just think that in order to really effectively evaluate a junior is when they're at the studio, or any animator is when they're at the studio, and how fast they do something and how little notes or like iterations, or at least like, yeah, how few iterations they get. I think
yeah.
that would be, yeah. I think
Like
that would
how
be an
how like
evaluation of the performance. Yeah.
yeah. And it's if they're like getting little notes too, like hey, like
Mhm.
just like offset the hand a little bit or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are like small things. But when it's like your body mechanics are wrong, that's
Yeah.
like a huge note. Then you're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
a that's a
Yeah.
tough one because it shows like that there's a lot more work that needs to be done. So I guess if
Yeah.
you're like someone who's starting out and you're only getting all these small notes, it's a good sign.
Yeah.
Because I
Definitely.
think people will get notes, like notes are given. And I think that's probably something that people aren't used to when they come into the industry is getting all those notes and then
Yeah.
just having to sit there and like try to address it all. It
Yeah.
and it just keeps coming. Like the notes, they don't stop.
They don't stop. Yeah.
Yeah. Not
And
until the shot is final.
yeah, that's why you have to be really curious to learn. Because I don't think like in any other aspect, like if you kept getting notes or critiqued like that, I think you will be like, you'll be over it.
Yeah,
So you have to be really open to that kind of constructive criticism.
yeah.
Um,
We should do an
but
episode on how to take
constructive
notes
criticism,
and
oh man,
criticism. Yeah,
yeah.
I
I'll
think that's
just
a
give you,
big topic.
oh man, like I'm telling you, like I'll give you a quick, I guess, quick talk about how I deal with it. You know, I just start to not care. It
Yeah,
sounds really bad. Like I just
yeah. That's
pretend like
exactly.
I don't give a shit about the chat, and I would just walk away, and then I would just do the note. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to detach yourself
It
because
is
you spent
hard,
so
yeah.
much time. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That's
but yeah,
exactly how I deal with it too. That's
yeah,
definitely the short version. It's just you just
yeah,
gotta like shut. I have like a notes mode, like when
yeah,
I just go like, yep, I just listen to the notes and just like, yep, okay, cool,
yeah,
yep. You just agree.
yeah.
Rule number one is don't try to fight the note because
That's another thing actually that's good for this episode because juniors like sometimes you get given notes, right? And there I've seen animators who try to explain themselves a lot, and I'm sure that I have tried to as well before. But now, like, I just don't say anything unless it's a really like it was a big misunderstanding of what my shot was about. But in general, I just don't say anything. I just like let them watch it. If they get it, they get it instantly, right? If they don't, then there's something that I'm not doing right.
yeah,
But you like don't be that guy who just like tries to explain himself out of that note. you might as well
Yeah.
just do it. Like, it's just not like it
By
makes
the time you done all the explaining, you could have addressed the note already.
yeah, especially as a junior, it's like I don't think like that this comes back to the humility side as well, where it's like just like there's a reason why certain people are in that position.
Yeah.
They've probably seen and done more than you, so just accept the note. If you really don't agree with the note, do a separate version in your own time. You know,
Yeah. I think
it's
that's actually a good thing. Yeah. Like be like do the all do what you're asked to do. Like
yeah,
always do what you're asked to do.
yeah,
But then if you think that you're right for
yeah,
whatever reason, then you can do an alt. And if you're
yeah,
really right, then you know I think the like for the most part, people who are in those positions, they're there because they can see what's good and what's bad. So if you're
mhm,
really right and you have an alt, they'll be like, oh, this is better. Like
yeah,
let's go with this version.
yeah,
So at least one would hope that someone who's in a senior position or
yeah,
like a supervisor
yeah,
would be like, yeah, humble enough themselves to say like, okay, yeah, this is a
yeah,
better version.
yeah,
But definitely don't fight the note because I think, and
yeah,
don't try to not make the version good as well. That's another
yeah,
thing.
because people can
Do
tell.
their version, but do it to the best of your abilities.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then also do your version and
yeah,
try to do yours to the best. But only
yeah,
if you have the time.
yeah. It's just yeah, it's funny like how
It is, yeah.
I've seen people
It
try to
sometimes
sneak
yeah,
past a
I've seen
note.
it a lot.
Yeah, and you just like in the review, you're just like, oh, dude, just do the note, like, please, like,
Yeah,
just stop fighting it. Like, it's
yeah,
it's so it's really it's not I wouldn't say embarrassing, but it's hard to watch. It's cringy.
yeah. It
Um,
does come back down to like time as well. It
mhm.
all comes back like to me. It always comes back to time. Um, if you're not doing what someone's telling you to do, you're just taking up more of their time, but not just their time. Like if you're sitting in a review and then there's like, 20, 30 people in the room waiting to get notes. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then you're just taking up more of those 20, 30 people because, the supervisor or whoever has to explain, what it is you're supposed to be doing. If you're arguing with them, you're taking up everyone's time in the long run.
Yeah,
And it's just, most of the time you don't have the full picture as well.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
they're giving you notes because like it's not gonna work as well with this part of the sequence for the character or for it's not gonna cut as well for whatever reason.
yeah,
So you get notes like from someone who has a much broader
yeah. But
perspective.
scoop. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
yeah, just do the note.
yeah,
Save
yeah. Don't
everybody
be a
time.
twat.
Those 20, 30
Yeah,
people would be happy that you just
yeah,
address the note and you're moving
yeah.
on so they can get their shots reviewed.
Exactly. And as a junior, those shots probably won't stay in your demo reel for long anyway. Or
Yeah,
like, yeah. So don't worry too much about it.
yeah,
But yeah, I guess like yeah, I wanted to discuss this topic because I'm sure like whoever's interested in our channel most like that's the what they want, what people want out of it is okay. How do I get a job in the industry? And once you're in the job, how do you stay, right? And I guess answering these questions, it's the most effective and efficient way for everybody, like to learn what I guess the social etiquette is or what to expect. Because
yeah,
sometimes, like when I came in, I had no clue what to like what to expect or what I should be doing in order for me to stay. I just winged it, right? And
yeah.
I think most people from
You
like
had like
us
the
in our
qualities naturally, which is
thank you.
it's a
Yeah,
good
I'm just
thing.
humble bragging. No,
You're
Clint.
just fishing now. I'm
Yeah.
totally like catching the bait as well.
No, I got super lucky. I think it's like with the people I work with. But I think like as a junior in Australia, especially, um, because there's less people. So when you get hired, you're more likely to, I think, to probably
Yeah,
stay than in Canada, where
yeah. We'll get
there's so
rehired.
many juniors, right? That you can easily be replaced. So I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're like
So
much more replaceable. I think in Australia, yeah, like you're seeing the pool so small, and they generally try to like rehire
yeah,
Australians because of like
Mhm.
tax incentives and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's like a whole nother topic, but
Yeah.
yeah, they will always try to rehire
Rehire.
locals. Yeah.
Like it's hard to get in. It's probably harder to get in Australia because if you have to be a certain, like I think if you're a junior, like it's harder. There's a high. I
There's
think
less
there's a higher
openings, I
standard.
think.
Yeah, there's less openings. Yeah, definitely less openings. But it's easier to stay. Whilst in Canada, it's probably a lot easier to get in, but it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot
It's a lot
harder to
harder to
stay.
stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this is
A
like
good
it
way to
seems
put it.
logical. Yeah.
That's how I feel as well.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I guess this is another episode. So yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching or listening to our content. If you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks again. Peace.